Dj EzD.
What's good? This interview was so easy, about to go hard real quick. Man got bars. Lots of bars. It's about to be a whole bunch of bars right here on the best college radio station, 88.1. Hope you guys are tuned in. It's going to be a great one. It's the hottest college radio station in the world, Z88.1. I am your host, DJ EzD. This is Late Night Local Talent. I got my co-host with me, David Rodriguez.
What's good? What's good? It's been a minute since we did one of these.
Absolutely. It's been a very long minute, but I'm happy we could do this again. So we got a very special guest in the building. He's here all the way from Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
He made the commute.
Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you making the commute. And on top of that, man, you're a fellow Easy brother as well, man. I'm excited about that. I'm excited for my Easy brother. We got So Easy in the building. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling great. I'm actually extremely happy to be here. So this is dope. Thank you for having me.
I'm happy you're here. So first off, tell me about the commute that you made here from Detroit.
The commute was nothing, dude. It was like 3.5 hours, so it wasn't anything big. I mean, my foot got a little tired.
I feel that.
But I didn't stop nowhere. Like, I didn't stop at no gas stations or nothing like that. I just wanted to get here, so I just drove and I just touched down in my room, and then I just kept moving from there.
Man, well, we appreciate you making this trip out, honestly. It's been a long time coming. The first thing I really wanted to get into was your album. Well, it was an EP that you dropped, To Live Young, or To Be Young?
Right,
To Be Young Again.
To be young again. To be young again. So,
tell me a little bit about To Be Young Again. I saw the video, and the first thing I noticed was a few words that you said, actually, which I thought they hit me a little bit. You're married?
Yeah, I'm married. I'm 26, and I actually be married for 6 years this year.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Well, congrats to you, and congrats to your lovely, beloved wife. What hit me, though, was you said that you were married and that your wife was handicapped. Tell me a little bit about that.
So basically, what is this? 2018 now. Back in 2014, this is when she was pregnant with our little boy. We only had like one car. We had this Mercury Sable, and she was coming to pick me up from work one day because she needed the car. So she was picking me up, but her cousin was over, and her cousin left something at the house. So, you know, her cuz go back to get what they left at the house, and then she comes to get me, and she like only pulls out of the pretty much the apartment driveway and gets T-boned by this big Ram 1500, and you know I got a little Mercury Sable, so you know how that ended.
Absolutely.
The car was totaled, and like literally since that day she's had like nerve pain and stuff that never goes away, a couple like bulging discs and stuff, and like constant back pain that surfaces here and there. So this, you know, it was a long lawsuit. Let's leave it at that.
I understand. Now, is it nerve-wracking, or how would you say you felt after this, the whole situation? Did it make you go harder with your music, or just in general? Did it make you go harder in life after the whole situation?
I feel like it did, because I had no choice. You know, we were working, like, you know, as a team. Like, I worked and she worked. And when that happened, it kind of got to the point where she couldn't work. It was over. Like, it was over immediately. It was just guaranteed she wouldn't really be working. And plus, she was pregnant at the time, too. So, you know that's over and done with. So, it's worse on her body then because she's pregnant. So, I would be just at work, and, like, in the early stages, and it every now and again happens now, she would be texting me while I'm at work saying, you know, my body hurt and stuff. And it's like, dude, I can't be away like this and not have the control to say I can leave and go take care of my wife right now because, you know, she needs me. So
that's tough.
Yeah, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I never expected to be so young and have something like that happen. Like, stuff like that happens where, you know, when people get older.
Right,
that's why
absolutely,
I say to be young again. People get older, and next thing you know, they start having all these body issues and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? I just wonder, like, why did that happen so early?
Right.
Evidently, we were strong enough to deal with it, but it's just, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? We just take it one day at a time. I don't know.
And see, I could relate. I see how you could relate to the album or the title of the EP, To Be Young Again. It's things that you just wouldn't have had to deal with. When we were young, we didn't have to deal with financial issues. We didn't have to deal with health issues. We didn't have to deal with some of these things that we have to deal with now as we're growing up and we're slowly moving more and more into full adulthood.
Right, and you understand that, and that's what it's about, understanding what the project is about, because some people can't grasp that, but the other songs on there, they can, because they may be in that stage of life. So it's you know, it like really goes from childhood to adulthood, and thinking about like, man, I just wish things were easy. And these are like thoughts that everybody thinks. I'm a guy who says the things that everybody is scared to say, and people try to act like that's like a bad thing, but we need people like me, because people like me help people think and grow and not be afraid to take their lives to the next level.
People are thinking that way. People don't want to say it. People don't want to hear it. But when you say it or somebody else says it, then they think it, they follow that.
Yeah, you know, it's just creating a standard, like it's okay to feel how you feel, because truly nothing is not normal.
Yes.
Nothing is not normal. So from that point, you kind of just got to figure out how to address it, because you keep living as if it's taboo and not talking about it. How will you?
That's
so
true.
You know, music is my form of expression. So that's how I deal with things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what feels good to me, just talking about it. So you know, I'm a verbal person, obviously.
Absolutely, and you definitely hear it in your lyrics. You're a lyricist. The one thing I noticed about you, you're from Detroit, but you don't have that Detroit sound that a lot of people from Detroit have. And I love that about you, because not to put Detroit people in a box, but a lot of Detroit people, they have the same type of style.
Yeah.
How have you tried to develop a different type of style versus what is normally seen in Detroit?
It's funny you mentioned that, by the way. Just to touch on that, by the way, it's not offensive. Some people would try to take it offensive. That's you just being honest.
I mean, it's not bad music, though. I mean, it's good. It's good music, though.
It's
but
another.
It's all.
Go ahead.
It sounds like, but it's all good music.
It's
It's
another.
not bad music.
No, not at all.
It's just like, for me, I agree. Like, they boxed themselves in, a lot of people. And what happened is, this is what happened in Detroit. It was a group of guys called Doughboys Cash Out, and there was another group called Team Eastside, and they were really popping in the city. And that was their sound, you know what I'm saying? And that was their thing, you know what I'm saying? That's them.
Yes.
But since that was the first thing that was popping in the city, that's what everybody copies, because usually that's what people do. We see it in the industry today. What does everybody do? They just, even in the major industry, they just copy a bunch of auto-tune type rappers. Yeah, they bite. Yeah. So, you know, it's just nature to show appreciation for something. But I guess to answer the question on what I did, I never really tried to do anything different. I just was always me. It comes easy to be me, because it's just I've always been that way, like since a kid. So when I made my music, I would just think about how I felt. Like when I first started, yeah, of course I bit everybody, but I still didn't bite the Detroit thing because it never really was something that was honestly appealing to me. Like genuinely, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like that sound. But I love my city, and I love the fact that they made their own thing, because that's what you're supposed to do. You got to make your own thing. So that's dope, because you hear today, people appreciating it. Like Doughboys Cash Out, they made it. That's dope. I'm not even a big fan of this stuff, but I love the hustle, and I love the fact that they created their own thing. That's originality at its finest. They went out and made something happen with that. So I'm doing the same.
Sound, and everybody followed behind them.
Yeah, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? You really can't say anything about that besides that's dope. They
started the sound. They brought the sound out. They're the originators of it.
Yeah, they're originators of it. Like, who would have thought that Young Jeezy would come pick them up? So that's dope. They got something that everybody's copying. But you know, for me, it just wasn't for me. I like to do my thing, and honestly, I'm a lyricist too, and that sound doesn't really encompass lyricism. It more so encompasses more so like fun music, probably turn up music here and there, and street music. I'm not street. I'm not gonna sit here and hold you up. I ain't hood. I am a little ghetto, just a little bit or whatever.
Everybody has a little bit of it in them.
But I'm not street. I'm not hood. I done been around the street, been around the hood, or whatever. Probably where the ghetto come from. But that doesn't fit me, because that's not who I am personally. So I can never even delve into that realm.
I like that. I like the fact that you stay level headed with yourself.
So who were you listening to when you were growing up?
Biggie. Man, I used to freaking love Biggie. I used to listen to all his
favorite
stuff.
song from Biggie?
Favorite song from Biggie? It might be "Give Me the Loot" or "Suicidal Thoughts."
That was a great song.
It's awkward to probably hear that, but "Suicidal Thoughts" was I can relate to being just straight open with how you feel in such a taboo way to where it's like almost like, hold on, man, you can't say that, or are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. You see, I'm expressing it as part of being okay. And even if I wasn't okay, probably be better if I did let it out. So I can really relate to how Suicidal Thoughts goes. Like that's a dope song. That's a dope song. It just goes.
I think
down.
my favorite from Big is him and Jay-Z, I Let It Dough. That beat is so crazy. And it's so chill. Like they were just shooting. I think they were shooting dice at the beginning, and then just like the way the beat came on, the bass line was nasty.
Yeah.
Would I be wrong to say I never got into Biggie?
It's okay. It's on Life After Death.
I couldn't get into him. Just never got into him.
I mean, that's understandable. Everybody has their thing. Biggie was my dog. Ironically, Jay-Z was too. So it's funny that you just mentioned that. Yeah. Like, man, that stuff was dope. Could you imagine if the dude had the chance to do a couple more joints with him? Because Jay-Z and Biggie are my actually original inspirations. Like Jay-Z is the reason I started rapping.
Wow.
It's funny that you just brought that up because those are the two
song,
for me.
Man, I listen to it when I work out all the time. So definitely.
It's funny that you say that. I could hear it in To Be Young Again. You got that flow where you can speed it up and then slow it down. Also speaking on that, have you ever heard Kendrick Lamar's Ignorance is Bliss?
Yes, that's my joint. People be sleeping on that project.
Oh, all the time.
That's the one that put them on. That project goes in like.
That was the one that High Power was on, right?
No,
High Power was one after. Yeah, High Power was one after. He's talking about.
Ignorance is Bliss is the slow. It's a slow beat, ain't it?
Ignorance is Bliss is on.
How
could I forget it? And I was just listening to it last week.
I know what
I got it on my thing, but
I was literally
the way he snapped on Ignorance is Bliss is crazy though.
Yeah, Ignorance is Bliss goes in. It's the song that had I don't even smoke. I don't even. That's that album.
Yeah.
That's the one that a lot of people don't know. Put them on.
And,
Overly Dedicated.
There we go.
That's the one that a lot of people.
Did it have cartoons and cereal on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with Gunplay. That's my joint, man.
A lot of people don't know that that's the project that put him on. But yeah, that's funny that you mentioned. I was just listening to Overly Dedicated.
The reason I had brought that up is because when I first heard your track, that's exactly what it reminded me of. You're snapping, the way you're snapping on the flow is quick and it's witty, and you have to hear what you're saying to understand. It kind of brought me back to that same moment of Kendrick Lamar, the way he snapped on it.
That's dope. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Tell me about, you got on a nice sweater right now. It says Live Young. Tell me about that. Is that your brand?
Yeah, Live Young actually started from the song. Like, Live Young was just another song, a part of the To Be Young Again album where it was just about how you wanted to live young. And I pretty much just talked about my life as if I were here where I am today, but didn't have a family. So I only know myself as what I was before I didn't have a family. So I picture myself having the things I have today, but in the mindset I was before I had a family. And that was just to live young, where I would just do whatever I wanted to do whenever I felt like it. And people were loving the song, and I don't even know how it happened. I actually just wanted to just make some merch, and I made like a shirt for my album. And then I was like, oh, this is dope. I'm gonna make one for Live Young. And then I just made like a bunch of stuff, and next thing you know, like I had the shirt, the hoodie, the hat, and it just happened. Like I honestly don't even fully remember how it happened. It just was inspired from the song. It just happened.
Got stuck.
What was you about to say, man?
I was about to say, I lost it. Totally lost it. No, I totally lost it. There we go. No, I remember. You have a family, but you're inspired by Live Young. So how would you say having a family now has inspired you to go harder with your music?
Free time. Like just straight free time.
Do you not have as much free time, or?
I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And having a family, there's a lot of things you can miss because of the typical 9-to-5 system that we have set in place. And that's not for me. I need to be able to just go on a vacation or just leave what I'm doing and go be with my family when I feel like being with them. And You know, like rich people, like how you see them on TV
Yeah.
just doing whatever they want. They really do whatever they want, but you don't have to be rich to do that. You have to be financially free. That's not that difficult to accomplish. So
You got the key.
when I can be financially free, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I know how to be financially free. I done read on it. I've been working at it and stuff. And you see things starting to build up to where you get to that,
What books
get
have
to
you
that
read on
point.
it? I'm curious.
There's this one book that's my favorite one called "I'm the Millionaire Mind."
I know exactly what book you're talking
I actually
about.
found out I'm very much like a lot of that in there, and then I do like a lot of just reading random articles, watching videos.
Are you hip to Live Grow Rich?
I know what it is, but I haven't read it yet.
It's one of my favorite books as far as the mindset that you're supposed to have to financial freedom. I'm trying to get the same way. Financial freedom is definitely something that is achievable, it's attainable. You just have to have the mindset.
Yeah, you just gotta have it. Like, you know, I can't miss. Like, my son is 3. That some of the times I've been away from him, like working a job or something, I would be like thinking to myself after I text my wife or something, or even get a picture. Look what we doing right now. I'm like, see, I can't miss this. I only get this one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I can't miss this. So I'm gonna create a life where when my son grows up, the typical little haters you see in the movie that say you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Good, he should. We're not trying to struggle. You know,
That's
we're
that's
trying
the
to
one
grow
thing
up
I
and live
hate.
prosperous.
Exactly. People, it's like people were upset when somebody had it easier than somebody. Now, do I think everybody should not have it easy? I think you should have to struggle with some things, or some things you should have to learn. But what's wrong with having a little bit of extra help, or having some keys that other people might not have? If you're able to get those keys and have those opportunities to better yourself and make yourself better, what's wrong with it? I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, people have this thing where they want to be the thing they hate, but when they meet the thing they hate it.
And they're upset.
Which you can actually take that and learn from it, because now you have it, you know, in your life. Like, I may not be where some of the people are that I admire, but I use them as mentors, and I learn from them, and that's how I get farther and farther and farther, because it's, you know what I'm saying, like, they worked for it. They're not there by accident. They're not there by
Understand.
accident. So it's no point in like hating on it, because would you rather live in the streets or in some nice little suburban area, or just something where you know you feel safe? Nobody wants to live in the streets. Nobody wants to be poor. Yet
Right.
when you run into the people that aren't, you get like jealous. And I don't get people. People are very brainwashed, and I don't
It's media.
function with most people. Let's just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I never like disrespect anybody or make anybody feel bad, but most people it ain't really. People are lost, and it's because they don't understand that they're lost, that they can never get found.
Would you say it's more so what media is pushing on us, or what people think free is in their mind?
It's a combination of things, to be honest. Media would be one of them. They have this perception that this is supposed to be the way it is, and that is not true. It's supposed to be whatever way you make it. So for some people, you know, working a 9-to-5 is success, and that's dope, because
Right.
you've attained something that a lot of people haven't. So when you have that, oh, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, I'm successful. Nobody can take that from you.
Right.
Nothing
Especially
can take
if
it
you
from
love
you
what
besides
you're
you.
doing.
Yeah, if
Absolutely.
you love what
That's
you're doing,
that's
it's
the
over.
main thing. Like that, I graduate soon, so I'm just like, my 9-to-5 gotta be something I love doing.
Yeah, you got to, because you spending all this time doing it. Once you
Right.
love it, you own.
Yeah. And I love production, so that's something I definitely want to do. So like
He also a boxer too.
That's dope.
that too. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
super dope.
Yeah.
I had to put
And
it
that's
out
what
there.
it's about, dude. Like, sometimes I say things that offend people, and it's because they think I'm just talking all high and mighty, like, oh, a job is blah, blah, blah. That's just how I feel about it. I don't mean it's bad for you. I can't tell you what success is to you. I can never tell you that, because years ago, before I even had one fan of my music career, anybody that was loving a 9-to-5 or whatever, they had something I didn't, because I didn't love my 9-to-5. You know what I'm saying? I didn't love it. So it's like, that's success to you. So that's what you go for. You go for what's success to you. And once you have that, that's honestly that's a key right there. You can't get that happiness taken away from you.
So now, when did you first start making music?
Making music or rapping?
Rapping.
I started rapping when I was 8.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you start taking music seriously?
Man, that's tough because I started recording when I was 18, but I wouldn't say I really took it serious until 2011. I was 18 in 2009. 2 years later is when I really started taking it serious and just started hitting it up.
Now, we're in 2018 now. Where would you say your music is going? What do you expect for in 2018?
Honestly, I'm expecting something big. I'm not gonna lie. I'm putting in a lot of work. I just don't know what that something big is yet. But with the momentum I've got built and continuing to build, something big. I have not a clue what that something big is. I couldn't answer you in the slightest way, but something big. Like it's coming. It's coming. I got some things planned. I won't even speak them out just yet, and some things that are already actually in action. And we just gonna keep moving. I don't know, but it's gonna be something big. It's gonna go from a few people knew So Easy to like, oh, he messed with blah blah blah. Oh, that's So Easy. It's like I'm telling you, 2018 is about to go crazy. I got the year mapped out. It's ready to go. It's so ready to go.
With that being said, does that mean you have music ready to drop? Yes,
Of course.
Of course. Like a lot
I'm working
of,
on a new album right now.
for real.
Is there anybody in Detroit that you want to work with that you haven't worked with?
Big Sean.
Understand.
Dope.
Been a fan of him before. Honestly, a lot of the people in the city were a fan of him because I was listening to him before he was out. Like before he was like out major. Like, do y'all remember back in the day when Sean used to rap with Drake here and there, kind of a lot?
Yeah.
This was way
Before
back.
Drake was
Before
really
Drake was
Drake.
even popping like
Yeah.
that. They were doing stuff together back when Drake first started messing with Wayne and Sean
Right.
started messing with Kanye and stuff. Like I was listening to him like way back then. And
That
stuff,
was
man.
Finally Famous 3. That was Finally Famous 2. Yeah,
Like, it was a while back or whatever, and it was I don't know. He just was always dope to me. He got a crazy flow. Big Sean's flow goes crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
What's the mindset behind the new album that you're working on right now?
The mindset behind the new album is pretty much like the right now.
Like, is it like, are you talking like political stuff going on in the world, like stuff in your life that's happening, or the past, the future? What we gonna? You know what I'm saying?
It's actually funny you say that because Politically Incorrect was my second album that I released a few years ago, like 3-4 years ago. So we've already reached that stage.
Right. But you know, times has changed though. So
what I'm gonna do, not what I'm gonna do, what I am doing. This album, might as well go ahead and tell it because I haven't told nobody, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this as now to tell it. Why not?
Right.
This album is gonna be called The Story of Chris Lloyd. That's my name. So this is straight, really just
Got an exclusive.
this is just gonna tell the story of where, like, I guess I'll put it in perspective like this. To Be Young Again, that album tells where I've been. The album that came after To Be Young Again, because I dropped 2 albums last year, it's called Since You Were Asking. That album kind of told like where I was going. You know, I just started digging deeper and deeper into who I am, who Chris is, more introspective. So now the story of Chris Lloyd is just gonna just go right into it. You know, just straight my name, and it's gonna be more introspective than ever, and it's gonna go right into the right now. Like I got this one song called and I can't wait to release it. It's called Greyhounds and $50 Hotels. Man, that's gonna be the single of the year. It's so crazy. Like even the title, Greyhounds and $50 Hotels, is like really about just how hard I'm willing to work to do what I gotta do. Like if I get to the point where I gotta take a cheap little Greyhound to get to where I need to be to hit up a tour, I'm taking a bus and I'm buying a cheap hotel to do what I gotta do. Like you gotta hear the song. It's funny. It puts you in the mindset of like, oh, Eminem when he was being silly, but he was being honest.
right.
And like even the hook, like it's crazy, man.
I was like, do you just rap? Do you sing? Do you sing a little bit?
I guess you could say I do. I have done like a whole song singing and parts. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would there be like features on the album, or is it straight you?
Yeah, it's features on it. It's features
Features.
on it. It's this one guy actually from Detroit too. His name is Kaz Clever. He's super dope. This dude is 18 years old, and it's ridiculous how well he can rap to be so young. Like he's no joke. bars all day. But it's funny because he was the one singing on that song. We actually both did a little singing on it, but we got another track. It's gonna be called No Yeah, and that's featuring him. I don't know about any other features just yet.
How does somebody like you go about features? Are you reaching out to people? You already got the song started, like the bridge and the hook stuff done. Like, yo, can I get a verse, or like, would you like to do a verse, or it's just like studio vibes, or do you have people in the studio?
I mean, I don't do features too often because I like to rap. Like, I genuinely love to rap. So since I have a lot to say, it's kind of hard to feature because I can do a song like nothing. So it just really has to say, that song really has to be like, you know what, I think this has to have a feature.
Right.
And then I will reach out to somebody and hit somebody up like, hey, let's do a feature. Like, it's this one guy, and who knows, maybe he'll be on the album, I don't know. But he contacted me on Instagram because, you know, he was just kind of a fan of what I was doing. And he wanted to hear, he wanted me to hear something of his, and I had listened to it, and by my surprise, he was actually pretty dope. So I was like, man, I might just have to mess with you. So that might be one guy I do something with. I'm not sure yet. I don't really do features. This project isn't done, so that's the best part of it. I'm just leaving it up in the air. Whatever happens, happens.
And how do you go about choosing the beats? Is like selection wise, are you just looking for beats? People sending you beats, or do you make beats?
No, I don't.
You don't make beats?
Don't make beats, but I do have like 4 or 5 producers or whatever. So, honestly, I don't really like look for beats. The beats just find me. I just play beats. Like, if I'm sitting in the studio, I would just pull up a whole folder of beats and I would just click until I hear the one that hits for me. I don't try to make my music. It just happens. So I never really have like a specific thing I'm looking for. Like, I might have a mood I'm in, but even then I don't really know what I'm looking for because I don't force it. I just let it find me. Like, next thing you know, it's like, that's it right there. And it just happens. Like, it's real hard to explain. But you know how something, like, you are just so genuinely into something you just never try? It's like exactly like that. I never actually, like, pick a beat. It just happens.
Naturally, yeah.
For the people who don't know So Easy, who is So Easy?
So Easy is taboo. Yeah, that would be the best way to describe it. I'm definitely a guy who says things people are scared to say, and I'm not scared to say them, and I'm a guy who will make people feel strong within themselves because that's what I believe in. I believe in being self-sufficient, and I also believe in respecting people. I'm not cut for all that typical what's that fallback game, like, what are you for, like, every
shadiness,
little petty stuff in response to something somebody did wrong to you. Anybody can respond from hatred with hatred. It takes a strong person to respond with love, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it does. The world is going down, dude. We don't need more hate. Like, we gotta kind of dig deeper on ourselves and do the opposite of what we normally want to do. And that's just me. I like to spread happiness and love. That's what Live Young originated from. You know, like, children, no matter what happens to them, you know, just 2 seconds later they back smiling and running around like it never happened.
Yes.
Yeah, you get whooped like
cool.
crazy.
Like
5
crazy.
minutes later,
and they acting like it didn't happen. Like, children, that's what we need to look at. That's what we need to look at every day when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, just living that better life, that happier life. So that's me. Like, I just want to be happy, and children are the best example of that. They don't hold on to things. You know, they just love. That's all they know how to do.
Right. With that being said, man, you got any other questions?
I do not. So Easy, man. Let's go ahead and get into this nitty-gritty freestyle.
Turn up time.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, we did it. We made it. Thank you for having me, University of Akron. We here. Look, let me stop by saying this is my day, cause like a hardcore gamer boy I came to play. So listen to what I say, and you'll notice the flow just ferocious. I'm killing the villains, my enemies envy, they timid and chillin'. I don't, so they sick of me, tempting me to kill it more. I'm a hot dog, so relish in the presence of a legend and must go tall. For the guys who wanna catch up, I'm sorry, I'm the one, just me, myself, and I, and you all too. Respect all three. Look, I done came up quite a way from being an underdog that wouldn't pose to make it. Let this be a lesson to like all my haters. I kept it dry to myself, I got the right of way, cause I don't stop for nothing. I just keep it cranking, no Jason Statham, just flow for days like a minstrel change. You know women hate, but
it's Lil John, it's okay. I go hard with no problem and no condom. I'm so down to make love to the beats like old style. No Viagra, it's going down. Come I serve up, no Aunt your mama. I'm so inclined to show off for nothing. Whack rappers say that they want it, but when it's time, I'm Big Ben and they clock ain't running. Bad choice, so easy. That boy that I wouldn't try to when it come to rap. I'm honest, I do things most don't, so I'd advise you don't come for me, cause that's what my wife doing. She's the only one that make me like to be second, but challenge welcoming. If you challenge, then I'll oblige you. Even if you fam, I won't calm it down, so the outcome won't satisfy you. Got no kin when it come to rap, like it's only right. You better check my guy, you pun intended. This is copywritten, so don't buy the copy. I'm the best, can no rapper top me. If you don't see it, still I'm the Fuhrer to any rapper that cannot see. Get it? Fuhrer, Nazi.